Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. And today, you know the rules. We're back. You guys have sent me some more of your games. And so today, I'm going to be doing some analysis and some scrutinizing to try and let you guys know how you can improve at the game. As well as, you know, just, you know, see what's going on. See what the vibe is with some of you guys in the clan. We're starting off with minor wall breakers. So immediately, I'm disappointed in you guys already. That's all right. I just made a video playing minor wall breakers. I cannot judge anymore. But hang on, if we just wind it back here, Demonic Warlord, your opponent, had the reaction times of a genuine sloth. Must have been jorking it or some shit when you played first play because he just didn't want to react to that. But you then go ahead and place the bomb tower defense, all that swarmy stuff. Lovely. That spear gets a hit, which is a bit BS, but we take those. Right. And now it's running Goblin Barrel here. Right. Oh, hang about. We're going to pause it here. Yo, that Goblin Barrel is stunning. What we can do in this situation, right? You've got bomb tower. Your bomb tower is going to hit the goblin on the left, right? You can place Valkyrie and it's going to instantly kill 2 of the goblins of the Goblin Barrel because that's just what you can do with Valkyrie. The splash is enough. If you place it right, you can hit either the bottom and left or the bottom and right goblin. And now typically, if you want to use Valkyrie to defend Goblin Barrel, if that's what you got, you want to use it in the one where it's like, it will hit the one closest to the king and the bottom one and take out those 2 because then your Princess Scout's going to be targeting the other one, gets that out quick because that's the best placement for a Valkyrie. But in this situation, since we've got the bomb tower, you want to place it right on the corner of where your Princess Tower is so that it's going to take out the bottom goblin and the right goblin. And then your bomb tower is going to hit the one on the left. Full counter. Let's watch it. Okay. All right. We didn't full counter, but that's okay. Moving on. We'll just watch the rest of the game. Nice skeletons there. Take out that princess while she's targeting the bomb tower. I like that. You also have log for the golden barrel, so don't go wasting that log because you're probably going to need that for the golden barrel. I think you probably could have cycled round actually and got that out, but honestly, you didn't need to. If you just placed Valkyrie better, you're all good. You get some minor chip there. Like it. He's got Inferno Tower. Counters your wall breakers, which is pretty good for you because Inferno Tower's like... You know, sometimes he's going to have to use his Inferno Tower to take out your wall breakers, which is a negative trade. That knight gets a hit. That's some BS. Wait, can we just go back real quick? See here? Honestly, you could have batsed. And then, like, yeah, he could spell your bats, but you don't know what spells he has yet. But you could have bats, and that would have taken out the knight, not got a hit, and then... You could have just saved up a bit of time, you know, let your bats go die, but then you just saved your elixir. Now you're a little bit down on elixir. He could have poisoned your... Oh, wow. Fantastic Valkyrie. Wow. He could have... Anyway, as I was saying, he could have poisoned your magic archer here. He had no reason not to be poisoning your magic archer here because you were below on elixir after this point. Even if you weren't below on, like, down on elixir, why wouldn't he just poison the magic archer? He's got plenty of other stuff to deal with whatever you want to do. His Inferno Tower's still down for a little bit more time. I personally, in this situation, if I was Demonic Warlord, I'm poisoning that magic archer every time, and his knight gets a hit, and you've taken a load of damage, and your magic archer's got basically, well, it's got a little bit of value because it did help destroy the knight. But my point is, the bats probably would have been better because then if he poisons the bats, he's even more elixir down, you know. But anyway, moving on. I got to stop stopping in these games. Right, nice Valkyrie, as we discussed. It completely predicts that Goblin Gang. Stupid Goblin Gang placement from him, though. To be honest, why would you place a Goblin Gang straight into a magic archer? That's dumb. And now he's about to take 1,000,000 damage. Okay, my guy's just fumbling the bag. That skeletons was a complete waste. You're now going to take out his tower, the miner. Yep, shreds that. And yeah, honestly, this is GG. With his deck, that he can't come back from this. He doesn't have a big push. He's playing log bait. He only has poke on your tower. And when you're this far behind with log bait, it's pretty much donezo. So I'm going to go ahead and cut to the end of this one so we can get to the next game because I really don't believe there's any way he comes back for this. And yeah, it's looking like that was GG there. So yeah, fair play. Not too much to report on that one. You did pretty well. The only real thing to report was that Valkyrie placement. So you can keep that in mind for next time. But yeah, for now, well done, Buck. You've escaped my judgmental hammer. Narrowly. I'm going to move on to the next, but I'm watching you, Bucky. You placed on the replay, I'm watching you. Okay, moving on to the next, we've got Taco Maker. He's been in the clan for a little while. He's an OG, but I shall not be nice because of that. I am going to give unrelenting, harsh advice where I see fit. You know, if you play perfectly, and I can't do that. Right, but we're already not playing perfectly. What have we leaked? 30 elixir. What's going on? What are we doing? For a start, right, what I would do here is just place down your cannon. You've got pretty much no reason not to at this point. It's going to defend that fire spirit, not allow it to chip your tower, save your log, and then also it just deters him from using like a hog rider or anything if he wants to use that fire spirit. I know it's only a fire spirit. I know it's only 1 elixir fire spirit. You might think it doesn't really matter. But, you know, you can do something here just to like, because like he could like build like a hog rider and then that's all of a sudden just a little bit more difficult to deal with because that 1 elixir that you did nothing about, it's that little tiny things, whereas instead you're just leaking elixir, right? So there's that. Second of all, where are you finding these opponents? Why is he Mega Knight the Bridge first play? Are we brain damaged? Are we what's going on? Are we in Barbarian Bowl or something right now? How do they even let these players get a hold of Mega Knight? They should withdraw the Mega Knight. I like that cannon placement. And then you want a Knight. Ooh. Now, see, personally, I would have Knight on the left side so that the Mega Knight doesn't jump because it's going to do less damage, right? That's just how it goes. You want to place your Knight right next to the Mega Knight because then it won't jump. Not right next to the Mega Knight. There's like a spot where the Mega Knight still has to walk to your Knight, but it's not far enough away where it can jump. That's the ideal spot, but closer to the Mega Knight is better than further here because the Mega Knight is going to do less damage to the Mega Knight than when it gets the massive jump. And also, yeah, you would have defended the Fire Spirit. You got hit by the Fire Spirit, but you'd have defended it. And look, instead it's hit your tower and you've taken a bit of damage there. You locked the Princess. That's completely valid in that situation. I respect it. And then he goes and rages, which is a waste. And you've capitalized. I like that. I like that. He wastes his rage and you say, all right, bet. And you place your Hog Rider Ice Spirit at the bridge. I like that a lot. And he's actually, it's paid off immediately. He's got nothing to deal with it. He's had to place his bats. And yeah, you can't kill his bats. Unfortunately, you don't have to spell for it, but that's okay. You still managed to grab some damage there. So we respect that. Right, his bats have fractured tower there. Right, okay. After he places his Fire Spirit, this is where you want to use skeletons. Again, 1 elixir, and there's no reason not to use it once he places Fire Spirit. You can just place those skeletons in the middle. They're going to die to the Fire Spirit, but the Fire Spirit will be out of business, and then your Princess is going to kill all the bats. Whereas instead what's happened is the Fire Spirit's gone, jumped on your tower, distracted the Princess, and your bats have got hits. So he's just gotten, what, like 700 damage that you could have just been, or 500 damage there, could have just been completely avoided with 1 elixir, and now you're behind on elixir anyway, so you've just wasted your skeletons at the back doing nothing anyway. So should have used him. Okay, with Rocket the Firecracker, low-key respect because bun Firecracker, but you've Rocket and Log. If my guy's deck consisted of like actual win conditions and wasn't just Evo Mega Knight, Evo P.E.K.K.A, and just trying to like, you know, just ding you through with all the big stuff. If he had like any win condition pretty much, he can capitalize here. He can just place it at the bridge. Like if he has a Hog Rider in his deck, he places it at the bridge, and then the pressure is there. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, you do have cannon, so maybe not a Hog Rider. Maybe that was a bad example, but like he could have like applied some pressure here. He's not doing that. He's just going to save up for 10 elixir and then use P.E.K.K.A at the back because he's got no brain. But, you know, well, actually, I say that. If P.E.K.K.A and Mega Knight is the only thing you've got in your deck to work with you, then, like, you're going to have to. That's a fine play, you know? Like, why wouldn't you do that? But what I'm saying is if you had a win condition and a real push, you could have got yourself a little bit in trouble there. So, and at this point in the game, you didn't know what he has. He hasn't used all of his cards yet. So that still was a fairly risky rocket, but is paid off. And then you can skeletons here to drag into the middle. I like that. You place one of your skeletons in the poison. Didn't need to do that if you just placed it one tile higher, would have been better value, but he placed his Fire Spirit anyway, so it didn't really matter. I personally, in that situation there, right at the end, would have let the Firecracker hit my cannon because it would have, yes, it would have splashed your Princess Tower on the right a little bit, but you would have activated King Tower, and just having the King Tower active is just good in pretty much every situation. Okay, going for a nice little log there, take out that Princess. Your Musketeer gets a hit as well, and we are chipping away at his tower. You got Evo Cannon as well. Not really actually that helpful in this matchup, but still nice to have. Hog Rider the bridge, I like that. Yeah, and he goes for P.E.K.K.A very late though, so you get 2 hits with your Hog. Okay, thing is, Evo P.E.K.K.A can if he you know. Oh, wait, no, he didn't have the elixir. I didn't realize. Fair play. I like that. I like that. That's why sometimes you've got to just go for the Hog, particularly Hog Rider, but that's why sometimes you just got to go in at the bridge, not let your opponent recharge that elixir. And you've got Evo Skeletons here. That can take out the entire P.E.K.K.A. Right, okay, what are we doing here? Right. I know he's got Fire Spirit and I know he's got Poison, right? But you want Evo Skeletons on top of this P.E.K.K.A because why not? If that means that it's 1 elixir, and if he doesn't do something, if he doesn't use... I don't even know a Fire Spirit would fully counter Evo Skeletons because the splash isn't that big, and if they've already split into like 8 skeletons, probably wouldn't even counter it, which means he's pretty much got a Poison, right, or Rage to deal with a 1 elixir card. So you place only 1 elixir card, and that's going to be value, because even if he does, like, let's say a Rage, which he doesn't look like he doesn't even have Rage in his rotation at the minute. When did he use Rage? He used Rage at the end of last fight. I wasn't even really locked into that. Okay, fair play. To be honest with you, I might not notice that, but, you know, if you were really counting cards and stuff, you could have known that his Rage was out, known that Poison was the only thing to deal with his Evo Skeletons, and then you've got Evo Skeletons, which will full defend the P.E.K.K.A unless he uses a Poison. That's a 4 elixir card to defend a 1 elixir card. Why have we used Knight and Ice Spirit here? Your Knight and Ice Spirit, that defends your Mega Knight. That defends his Mega Knight. Ice Spirit freezes the Mega Knight, so he can't just keep launching your Knight into the tower. Your Knight hits it away, and then maybe you might have to place your cannon as well, sort of thing, because it's Evo Mega Knight, not just regular Mega Knight. But, like, if he uses the Poison on the Evo Skeletons, as discussed earlier, he can't back up the Mega Knight because he hasn't got the elixir for it. And if he does back up the Mega Knight, then your Evo Skeletons are going to kill his P.E.K.K.A. So it's a win-win for you if you just place Evo Skeletons on the left and then deal with the right side with other sources. Now, you've had to use your Evo Cannon, which has been killed. Your Evo Skeletons have defended the Mega Knight, to be fair. Oh, no, he used the Rage. use the rage, but now his P.E.K.K.A.'s an issue. That P.E.K.K.A. still hasn't been dealt with, and as we discussed, it could have been dealt with essentially 1 elixir, and that is going to be a hit on your tower. The king tower is active, though. It's going to help out, but he does take your tower. Right, so yeah, moral of the story is, in this situation, you use your Evo Skeletons, because it doesn't matter even if the Evo Skeletons might die to something. It forces out an option from your opponent. That's what it's about. It's not necessarily about, like, you know, I'm sure you were thinking, oh no, they might die to something like rage or whatever it was that you were thinking. But it doesn't matter, because you've forced out the option. And then you can, like, use that elixir advantage from forcing out the option on the other side. But you know all this, we've been through all this, but I just wanted to say, now you've lost a tower for it, you know, a tiny misplay like that can be a tower, bro, especially when you're dealing with big cards. And you've gone and rocketed the Royal Chef on the left just to make sure. Yeah, fair enough, I like that. He is now elixir ahead though, and I'm sure you know that. So in this situation, what do we do here? We place a knight in the middle, Ice Spirit, yep, that is fair. Okay, right, we're gonna have to ignore his princess for now. Yep, nice cannon, I like that. Kiting across, musketeer low, yep, I like that too. And then we've got skeletons to defend the P.E.K.K.A. a little bit more. Ooh, okay, we log instead to get rid of the princess, I like it. If you did skeletons first, then you could have logged both the princesses, but I guess you weren't expecting them to just do 2 princesses. Your knight up top just about clips the princesses. Mega Knight didn't get done in time. You're nice there, like that. And this guy's just applying the pressure now. This is going to be really quite difficult. Right, that musketeer is going to get jumped on. Okay, good. We use cannon there, and that takes out the firecracker with the Evo. I really like that. And then the Mega Knight can't even jump again after. And then you got Evo skeletons. Absolutely fantastic play. That was a good defense. That was a good defense. I like that. Okay, cool. And then you hog rider, and then you hog rider, and you place the knight in the pocket. Oh my god, yes, I love this. You've clocked on to the fact that he just Evo P.E.K.K.A. in the pocket, and it went nowhere. You defended it with essentially 1 elixir, and then you've gone in. You've gone, okay, right, 7 elixir for 1, basically. That's a trade. We take those. You've gone in. You've put your knight in the pocket. It doesn't matter because you've got that elixir advantage. You pop your knight in the pocket. It's tanking for the hog rider, and your hog rider's going to get, what, 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 hits here? No, just 3 hits, but still, that's 3 hog hits you didn't have before, and that all that damage lead that he got from you having to rocket his tower is back. Okay, and then we're just going in here. We are just mashing on his tower. And to be honest with you, I like it. He hasn't managed to get up the elixir to place an Evo Mega Knight, Evo P.E.K.K.A. sort of situation there, or just Mega Knight or P.E.K.K.A. And you're just taking advantage of that. I like that. Other than those are, and we've realised already right off the rip, or I did because I was spectating, I can see his cards. And that's what he's going for with the deck. He doesn't even have a win condition. He just wants to mash you out with the big Evos. And so, I like it. I like this pressure. You just got to keep applying the pressure. He's managed to get a P.E.K.K.A. out, but that doesn't full defend the hog, especially with the Evo Ice Spirit, and you get the hit on tower. Okay. Okay, I like it. Notes from that game is your opponent's deck was washed, I'm not gonna lie, and like no win condition, so like you did play all right, but his deck was kind of ass. And yeah, if you just played that just a little bit better, like with that main player spoke about with the Evo skeletons and like using your other stuff on the right, and then all of a sudden you don't need to mess around trying to get the 2 crown. You've won the game because he can't get through to you because of the way you've used his stuff. So fair play on the win, but that could have been cleaner. And we'll do one more, and we've got a replay from Dawsey. Now in the last video I did in this style, I kind of roasted him for his gameplay, kind of told him a fair few different things that he could do differently to get a nice cleaner win. And he's since said, all right, bet, and put this in the chat and said he reckons he's improved. But I'll be the judge of that, right? Why are we doing minor in there? I'm going to assume that was a misclick, because why would you do that? I'm just going to, for your benefit, I'm assuming that was a misclick, because you don't want to. Why were we placing minor there? We're just gonna move past that. It happens. We all misclick. But I know you ain't that dumb. Okay, and we're playing against a freeze user. Right, interesting right now. See how you use your barrel here. Nice, yeah, fair play. Fair play with the cannoneer. It didn't really matter how you placed it as long as you kite it. So I like that. Okay, right, and he's got Tombstone. This is an unfortunate matchup because I think Tombstone will eventually make it to tower with Cannoneer. So Valkyrie here, yep, nice. Skeleton Army would have also been a decent option, but Valkyrie is cycling through to your Evo, so I like that, like where you placed it, gave the time for the knight to come in. And now you've got your Skeleton Army still for the mini P.E.K.K.A., so I like that. You've got to build up a little bit of elixir. We didn't need Baby Dragon there. Oh, it's hit your tower. The mini P.E.K.K.A.'s hit your tower. Okay, so personally, I wouldn't have Baby Dragoned here. I'd have just sort of let the Valkyrie deal with the skeletons, because once that knight's dead, the skeletons aren't going to do anything to your Valkyrie. Your Valkyrie's going to make it to the tombstone, and it's going to deal with it. Look at how much health your Valkyrie has. The Baby Dragon there wasn't necessary. And then, of course, he's seen that you've used the Baby Dragon and it wasn't needed, and then he's pushed in on the left for your mini P.E.K.K.A. I think if you were properly mashing... No, I don't even know. I feel like you were properly mashing and you couldn't get the Skeleton Army out. So it does get a hit on tower. But then again, we've now got a counter push, and my guy's deck, he doesn't have the source to deal with this. He's gone and placed his Magic Archer on the right there, which was a terrible play, because he could have defended both lanes with that Magic Archer if he just placed it in the middle. And now you've destroyed him. So, see, honestly, this is the thing with all these replays, right? If your opponents weren't brain dead, then, like, these plays wouldn't work so well. But they are brain dead, so you're lucky. But anyway, honestly, you definitely would have got the damage lead anyway, even if he had placed his magic archer correctly. But then now the push still continues, you know what I mean? Like, now it's his turn sort of thing. And we've placed our Inferno Tower a million years too late. But also, what else you do? With the current options, that is a bit rough. You see, at that point, by the time you get enough elixir for your Inferno Tower, you may as well just use your Barb Barrel. And then use the Barb Barrel, get a little bit of damage on the Hog, let your Cannoneer deal with it. And then the Barb Barrel is going to go distract the Magic Archer, so that won't do a million damage to your tower. Instead, we've gone and placed Inferno Tower, which doesn't really do anything for you in the defense. It's kind of a waste of 5 elixir. Like, it stopped the Hog from getting 1 extra hit, but doesn't help defend the Magic Archer at all. And so now we're at a deficit. Now we're losing just like that. And this essentially... I know it seems a little bit weird to say this because it was ages ago, but this kind of comes from the Baby Dragon play at the start, right? So, like, let's just imagine for a moment that your opponent had brains and placed his Magic Archer in the middle to defend both. Let's say his tower ended up on, I don't know, 1,000 health, but his left tower is still fully alive. Maybe the Wall Breaker's hit, right? But the Skeleton Army isn't there because the Magic Archer dealt with it after it killed the Valkyrie. His tower's on 1,000 health, yours is on whatever from the Mini P.E.K.K.A, and then he goes for this push. Your elixir is the same and he still managed to get this damage. Maybe a little bit less if you place the Barb Barrel right. But yeah, although it looks like you're in a really good position here, you should technically still be losing this game, and it's because of that Baby Dragon misplay. I hope that all makes sense. It's a little bit difficult to explain, but that's how the game goes. Sometimes a misplay that you make can affect you like ages later in the game because you just don't recover that elixir. Right, now let's see actually here. Is the Tombstone going to make it to the Cannoneer? Because I don't know. It doesn't look like it would. Or maybe it was creeping up. I feel like it does. Hey, Skeleton Army's going to take care of all that. Oh, never mind. It's got Magic Archer. Okay, nice play not to scare. What are we doing? Why have we Skeleton Army after the Magic Archer's been blazed, brother? I thought you outbrained me by not Skeleton Army, because I had a Skeleton Army nice and early there to try and get rid of the stuff nice and quick before he did all that, and then it would have got taken out by the Magic Archer. Then I would have been in a bit of trouble. Then I would have had to use my Barb Barrel, maybe my arrows as well to take everything out. Would have taken a bit of chip damage perhaps through the Magic Archer. And I thought, oh my god, he's outbrained me by not using the Skeleton Army straight away because he's going to use Magic Archer. Nope, because you've got to place your bloody Skarmy straight into the... Why have we done that? It's been absolutely pegged straight away. Now what are we going to do? We're going to have to Barb Barrel with Panic Arrows, and his Mini P.E.K.K.A is going to get a hit, and that is tower done. The way I would have done it, would have defended it if you just used the Skarmy early, because, yeah, I mean, fair play, he might have a spell, but, like, at this point in the game, we can assume he doesn't have, like, a log, right, because we haven't seen it. We do know he has freeze because he used it at the start, but is he really going to freeze? And then even so, that's a positive elixir trade. But anyway, and then with Evo out the back there, what are we doing? Why do you guys love just randomly using your Evos, man? I know you had to pay for it, but it's not just going to win you the game for free. Actually, sometimes it will. So, I take that back. Sometimes it will. But not if you just use it at the back, right? Evo Valkyrie, man. That can defend so much stuff for 4 elixir. And we've just gone and used it at the back. With a Baby Dragon to back it up, like... This is not the push, brother. In this situation, you've got, like, so many better options. You've got Wall Breakers. That's poke. That's poke on his tower. You can just use the Wall Breakers. He's got to do something. He's got to do something. Otherwise, that's 500 damage. You could even, if you want to just go for a brazy push, you'd even just go for the Baby Dragon at the bridge behind this Barbarian. And then, because you've got Evo Valkyrie, you can defend whatever he wants to do. Like, you've got a bit more leeway in how you attack because your Evo Valkyrie is going to be able to defend anything. But instead, we waste Evo Valkyrie at the back. Like, now, he sees your Evo Valkyrie coming, and he's just going to do something about it. I mean, his deck is a bit washed, but, like, he's got his, Elite Barbarians, that's what I'm thinking of. That he's just going to pop his Elite Barbarians on top of your... Never mind, he's got no bloody brain cells. Why has he done that? Okay, right, luckily for you, once again, your opponent is a washy boy, as it were. And he's going to just completely waste his Tombstone. He's got so many options. Why is he doing that? He can Hog Rider the left here, because you've used your best defense to Hog Rider already, and you've got no elixir because you've Baby Dragon as well. He can Hog Rider the bridge here, on your left, and you're cooked. You got to wait for your Skarmy to come up and then use your Skarmy. And then look at how much elixir he's got. He could just freeze the Skarmy and your Cannoneer and you're going to take 1,000,000 damage, right? He doesn't do that though because he's a moron and decides to try and back up his one Valkyrie that's obviously going to die. He should have just let the Valkyrie die and then let the Baby Dragon come to tower, defend your Valkyrie with his E-Barbs. Jobs are good. And then your Valkyrie ended up getting value. Why have you used Skeleton Army though? You just love wasting elixir. Oh my god, me! You've placed your Evo Valkyrie. It's got a fucking tornado on it, right? Why have we placed Skarmy there? Look at the health on the Hog Rider. Even if the Hog Rider was going to get a hit, it wouldn't matter but it's not going to get a hit because you've got the 6 million things attacking it, including the Evo Valkyrie. Now, he's put his Evo Valkyrie down at the bridge. Why are we not using... Why are we attacking here? Our towers, neither of our towers have any frozen your troop. I need to calm down. I need to calm down, man. This is stupid, brother. I can't even commentate a game like this without some autistic shit happening too frequently for me to even commentate over the last autistic thing. Right, let's run that back. Let's run that back. Right, okay, so we've just got a whole ass, like, just beat off. Just a whole, just a mash off right now. So he places Evo Valkyrie the bridge. Why? Why are both of you in this game so reluctant to let troops come under your tower so that your tower can do things? This fight could be happening under one of your towers, and then whatever player that is in their half is then winning because you're getting more DPS out because of your towers. But instead we're just mashing it out at the bridge with no towers doing anything. He places Evo Valkyrie right on top, and then what? Freezes? Yeah. Freezes. You place the baby dragon to back it up. You now got 2 baby dragons because your baby dragon's been alive for a million years. Nice miner. With funnily in a reasonable play, the miner tanks for the baby dragons. They actually managed to connect a tower. Thank the Lord. But prior to that, this has just been a right mess. Oh my god. And yeah, you take his tower, but like, my god, again, it just could have been so much cleaner. I'll forgive you for the mini P.E.K.K.A hitting your tower at the start, right? I'll forgive that. You know what I mean? But my god, what? And then, yeah, there's no way he comes back from that. He hog riders in desperation at the end, but that means nothing. So, after we use that Valkyrie baby dragon at the back, here's what should have happened. He should have hog rided the left, forcing out your skeleton army, maybe frozen, but also maybe not. If you want to go for a predictive freeze on your skeleton army, that would have been goated, but I don't have faith that he would do that, to be honest, based on the skill level we're playing at, which is fine. Nothing against that. Yeah, it could have just hogged and then just been prepared to freeze whatever you put down, or just hogged, because that's going to get like 2 hits anyway, minimum. And then you've had to react to it. And then he just waited. If players just had a bit of patience, your Valkyrie, your baby dragon goes under his tower first. He tanks that. He doesn't have very good options to deal with the baby dragon. He didn't have much air defense, but he tanks the hits with the E-barbs. Your baby dragon gets killed by his tower, and your Evo Valkyrie gets killed by the E-barbs. That's what should have happened. That's your 8 elixir, defended with his 6 elixir, and he's got a hog rider on your bridge, forced out. You're f***ed on elixir after that, boy. That's how it should have gone, but instead, he just decided to mash absolutely random cards at the bridge that got no value, and then froze nothing. So you lucked out. I know you think you got a little bit better, which may be true. Maybe this is an improvement on the last game, I'm not gonna lie. But you still lucked out, boy. You ain't getting ultimate champ or plays like that, I'm telling you now. But with all that being said, I would like to say thank you guys very much for watching this video to the end. If you did enjoy it, please do go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. All this does genuinely help me out a lot. Don't just say that. And if you want to send your games into me for a review so that you can get better at that game as long as me, because I learned some stuff as well. I learned some stuff about the game when I do these videos. And you can hop in my clan. The clan tag is in the description, and then you can just send your replays in there, and maybe I'll react to them in a video. But for now, as I said, thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.